Hello and welcome to another edition of Rory on Air. You join me in the Cabri G2 helicopter en route to a collection of famous reservoirs in the Peak District National Park. Howden, Derwent and Ladybower reservoirs and the dams between them were used by the crews of 617 Squadron during World War II as a place to practice dropping Barnes-Wallis's famous bouncing bomb. The Lancaster bombers and their crews would go on to drop the weapon on dams in the German Ruhr Valley in May 1943, earning their squadron the nickname the Dambusters. I've always wanted to fly along these beautiful stretches of water, so this is a particularly exciting trip for me as I continue to train as a commercial helicopter pilot.
Look at that sort of cliff edge there. The scenery is fantastic. This is gorgeous. Really special. I'm so lucky to be able to do this. What an amazing career change. To go from working in radio, which I absolutely loved, to flying about on my own in a helicopter, something that I've always wanted to do. And this trip actually up towards the lake here is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Fly along the reservoir, because of course it was featured heavily in the Dambusters classic World War II movie, and I'd always intended to come here in the aeroplane when I was flying out of Barton, but for one reason or another it never actually quite happened. I did try on one occasion and we had some showers over the hills here, and I just didn't really think it was appropriate to continue at the time, and it just didn't happen. So I think we'll get a call into East Mids and tell them we're changing to Manchester. Student Heli Centre 67 is about 2 miles south of the southern end of Ladybower Reservoir, altitude 2,200 feet. I'm going to change to Manchester radar on 118.580.
767, Roger, Squawk 7000, taking range again.
Squawk 7000, thanks for the service, Student Heli Centre 67. Right, so we'll squawk VFR, we'll change to Manchester, and we'll do 7366, which is their listening squawk. I don't want to go too low here because we've got the 500 foot rule to contend with. We'll just slow down a little bit to 70 just to enjoy this. Stay at 1,700 feet. It's quite difficult to judge what 500 feet is on the old 500 foot rule, so I'd rather err on the side of caution. I think we're okay here. If we lose the engine, we've got field options off on both sides. Look at that dam. Amazing, eh? Right, we'll just come up a little bit more here, just to give ourselves a bit more of the way and options, because there's so many more trees. Everything's in the green. 70 knots, 2,000 on the QNH. Right, this is our turning point, so we'll do a turn. 2,200 again.
Flight 320 down, 3,500 feet, going 1 Alpha Romeo.
Gentlemen, Echo Alpha going to change to water on 129.53. Roger, Echo Alpha, full coming to you, Centurion. Thanks for the service.
Well, there we go. Okay, so next heading is 205, and I wanted to do it at 3,000 feet. We've got no airspace above us here, that's 3.5.
Heading 265, descend 3,000 feet, clear down at approach 22 right. 720, 11 knots, visibility 10 kilometres or more, light rain, overcast 4,400 feet, temperature plus 1-4, dew point. QNH 1-4, acknowledge receipt of information Tango, and report aircraft type on first contact with Manchester.
Manchester radar, good morning, Student Heli Centre 67, request basic service.
Student Heli 67, crash details.
Student Heli Centre 67 has information Tango. We're a Cabri G2 helicopter from Leicester to Leicester, currently about 4 miles to the west of Ladybower Reservoir, altitude 3,000 feet on 1014, one person on board VFR. Request basic service, and we're routing direct towards Stoke-on-Trent.
Student Heli 67, thank you. Basic service you have, Manchester QNH is 1014, nothing known to fetch.
Basic service 1014, Student Heli Centre 67.
Still to come. Poor radio reception causes me problems as I try to contact the Birmingham radar controller looking for Class D transit on my way back to Leicester. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to turn on notifications. We've recently passed 4,000 subscribers here on Rory on Air, and I'm chuffed to bits to have you on board with me. Thank you for all your continued support.
Right, we should have 103 litres and we've got 110, so we're good for fuel. We're track crawling this leg. So we've got an intersection of roads all joined up together, which is that, I reckon. And they should have a peak or beyond it. I don't know if the camera's still running and you can see that, but that water is a interesting colour, isn't it? Student Heli Centre 67, are you aware if danger area Delta 304 has any activity today?
I'm not sure. Let me just have a look at the information. Bear with me. Student Heli 67. Did you say danger 304?
A firm, Student Heli Centre 67.
Yeah, the information that we've got is that it's only active from October to March.
Roger, that's great. Thank you very much, Student Heli Centre 67.
And that would normally be on a Saturday and Sunday only, as far as I can see, but that's the only information I have.
Excellent. I didn't think it was active, but I just wanted to double check, so thanks for that, Student Heli Centre 67.
Sure.
I had of course checked this and discussed it with my instructor before I set off from Leicester, but because Manchester were fairly quiet, I thought it was worth just double checking.
We want to be crossing over where the road intersects with the railway line, which is just there. Much smoother with the governor off. I just need to be cautious to make sure that I remember to switch the governor back on if I get into any manoeuvres or whatever, and I don't let the rotor RPM get out of the green arc here, but it's no bad thing to practice governor off a bit anyway.
The governor is a device that senses rotor and engine RPM and makes the necessary adjustments in order to keep the rotor RPM constant in the centre of the green arc. In the Cabri, that's 530 revolutions per minute. It's a great device that reduces pilot workload, but on this occasion, although it was working, it was becoming a bit twitchy. The fluctuations in RPM and throttle were minor and always well within the safe parameters, but as per the operating handbook instructions for a faulty or failed governor, I decided to switch it off and fly part of my remaining journey home controlling the throttle manually. I will of course flag the issue when I land, and it'll be thoroughly checked by an engineer. You can tell if I have the governor on or off during the rest of this flight by looking at the blue light at the top of the instrument panel. If the light's on, the governor's off.
These clouds are not going to cause us a problem. They look a bit above us over there. That one's below us, but we'll just stay around that. Cool. Fuel 97, radio tuner talking to Manchester. We've got Shawbury in the box for the second thing. Engine T's and P's are in the green. DI is aligned. 202, yeah, it's not far off. Altimeter is set 1014.
Manchester radar, good on.
3,000 feet.
Good morning, Ryanair 50 November, descending from level 80 inbound.
for Manchester.
737 information call. 28114. Ryanair 50 November, Manchester, OT vectors ILS 23, right turn right at 340 degrees. Right heading 340 degrees, Ryanair 50 November.
Well, Manchester radar is not as busy as I remember it from when I was up at Barton, obviously, because of COVID, but it is still quite busy. There's still quite a lot of stuff happening. But I thought it was worth getting a basic service anyway.
Ryanair 52 Romeo November, descend flight level 60. Descend flight level 60, Ryanair 52 Romeo November.
Given that there was space to get a word in, and because I was flying over that high ground and stuff, it's quite inhospitable. You know, if I did have an engine failure and had to go in there, I'd get cold quite quickly, so I'd probably want somebody to come and fetch me. Obviously I've got my mobile phone, but there's no guarantee I'd get signal, and I may have to walk for a bit to find a house. Student Heli Centre 67, 5 miles southeast Stoke-on-Trent, altitude 2,500 feet, descending to 2,000. I'm going to change to Shawbury zone at 133.150.
Thank you, Student Heli Centre 67, Squawk conspicuity, free call en route, cheerio.
Squawk 7000, speak to you later, many thanks, Student Heli Centre 67. Birmingham radar, Student Heli Centre 67, request basic service and zone transit.
This is a classic example of why they teach us to think before we key the mic.
Heli Centre 67, Birmingham radar, change 1016, 40402 and pass message.
QNH 1016, Squawk 0402, Student Heli Centre 67 is a Cabri G2 helicopter from Leicester to Leicester, currently 8 miles south of Stafford at 1,900 feet on 1016. 1 POB VFR, intended routing is the M6 Hilton Park services, and then through your Class D to Tamworth en route back to Leicester at 2,000 feet, request basic service and the transit. Basic service QNH 1016, Student Heli Centre 67.
I found it quite difficult to hear what the controller was saying there, but unfortunately that only gets worse.
There's Offerton. Been in there in the Eurostar with Nick. Student Heli Centre 67, I believe that was for me, but it was about readability too, possibly due to my altitude. I'll climb a little bit to see if I can hear you clearer.
Heli Centre 67, how do you read now?
That's better, Student Heli Centre 67.
Heli Centre 67 is in control airspace, cross by park services and to west.
The Student Heli Centre 67, I think that was not above altitude 2,000 feet VFR and remained to the west of the Tamworth services, is that correct?
Remain to the west of the runway 15 approach.
Remain west of the runway 15 approach, got you there, Student Heli Centre 67.
Centre 67, you've got the words to make life a little quicker.
Will say again, Student Heli Centre 67?
Yeah, just stop calling yourself student.
Wilco, Heli Centre 67.
Ryanair 2155, you have 30 miles, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1016.
Set altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1016, Ryanair 2155.
Okay, so this is the junction. Should have taken us 19 minutes, 16 and a half minutes. Right, 113.
Birmingham, good morning, Ryanair 3 Romeo Foxtrot, information kilo, descending flight level 980, and we are proceeding inbound Honolulu.
Ryanair 3 Romeo Foxtrot, load standby. Ryanair 2155, turn left heading 185, clear Dallas approach, runway 15.
Left head 185, clear Dallas 15, Ryanair 2155.
Ryanair 3 Romeo Foxtrot, turn left heading 315, vectoring for ILS approach, runway 15, information kilo, and no speed restrictions.
Copy, left heading 315, vector for runway 15, Ryanair 3 Romeo Foxtrot, no speed.
Heli Center 67 can now continue to cross the runway 15 approach.
Continue and cross the runway 15 approach, Heli Center 67.
Heli Center 67, caution the masts at Sutton Coldfield and Litchfield, report when you have them in sight.
Wilco, Heli Center 67.
Ryanair 2155, descend to altitude 2,000 feet further with glide path.
Descend altitude 2,000 feet further with glide, Ryanair 2155.
Heli Center 67 visual with both of the masts.
Heli Center 67, thank you, and radar control service.
Radar control service, Heli Center 67. Well, this has been a really good fun flight with a few challenges. One of them being that the governor, although it's working, is, if we put it back on again, you'll see that it starts to hunt, and it's at some periods of the flight it's got quite severe, and it's made life a little bit uncomfortable. There we go. Look at that, it's just wobbling around, and it's like I'm doing this on the pedals the whole time, which I'm not. You can see my feet are where they are, and it's still doing it. So I've been doing a bit of governor off flying, which I guess is quite good practice anyway, but I'm using the governor at periods in the flight where I'm not concentrating on the flying tasks as much because I'm doing the radio, or because I'm climbing and descending, or anything that's likely to take it outside of the green zone, really. Heli Center 67, we're about 4 miles east of Stoke Golding. We're going to change to Leicester radio 122.130.
Heli Center 67, roger, please change to boost, Squawk 7000, my service, terminate. Good day.
Squawk 7000, thanks for your help and sorry about the radio interference, Heli Center 67.
No problem.
Heli Center 29 lifting and taxiing to 24 Bravo.
Heli Center 67 is 6 miles east of Stoke Golding, altitude 2,000 feet. Request join information.
Heli 67 is the radio runway 28 left hand directing for road 3 QFE 998
Runway 28 left hand circuit for rotary in the QFE 998 hectopascals, student Heli Center 67. Let's all start and descend and get the QFE on. 998. Almost more difficult with the governor on. 500 feet a minute, 45 knots. A little bit quick, let's just slow down a bit more. Right, 40 knots. Feet a minute. Power's coming in. 200 feet a minute. Heli Center 67 taxiing to park, visual with both fixed wing aircraft.
X-ray Alpha, runway vacated. Roger.
Okay, we're on. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Back at Leicester, that was a very tricky landing, partly because of the crosswind and partly because of the governor issues. Meant that it was hunting, so it was twitching the tail, and then I'm twitching the tail, and of course all the controls have secondary side effects, so that got quite squirrely. I was almost at the point of abandoning that and trying to just go head into wind on the grass, because they've got the fuel bowser out anyway, but I felt like I was still in control of it, even though it probably from the ground looked a bit wobbly. But yeah, we're just doing the 2-minute wind down here now, and lots of things to think about and to consider, and some useful learning points, and lots of controlled airspace and talking to people on the radio, so that was good. Yeah, another couple of hours of solo in the logbook. Happy days.